If you haven't already, please vote in the TSTO Awards 2021. I'm trying to beat last year's amount of votes. We only need so many. We only need about 12 more now, I think, to beat last year. So please go on, head over, links in the description, and vote for your favorite character, building, event, NPC, costume. It's all there. Go vote, basically. I only need 12 more of you to vote, and then we've beaten last year's amount of voters. Thank you. Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another Simpsons tapped out idea, and of course I promised this one to you. This is my Christmas 2020 event idea, and that is a Gil Gunderson Christmas. Okay, so this is my idea for a Christmas event. I personally feel like this is a very strong possibility, or it would be very awesome if they did do this, because I honestly think focusing an entire Christmas event around Gil would actually work quite well. Now, a similar example is in I think it was 2015, please do correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 2015 or 2014, one of the two, where we got Maggie, and the entire Christmas event was basically focused around Maggie, and I think it worked really well. I actually think that's the best Christmas update we ever got. And similarly, I think focusing a Christmas event around Gil, finally giving us Gil as a character, actually would be a really solid idea, and I think there's a perfect episode to base this around, and that's Kill Gil Volume 1 and 2, which of course isn't the most popular of episodes. I don't personally hold it in really high regard, but in terms of content to give us for a Christmas update, it definitely is packed full of awesome stuff that we could get, and I think they could honestly base that episode base an event around that entire episode and the loose premise. So that is basically my pitch for this, so let's get into it. So, Christmas startup. Christmas is coming up, and the Simpsons are rushing to get presents for each other. Marge, though, is done already. She's prepared in October. So you make Marge wrap her presents, make Homer, Bart, and Lisa buy last-minute presents, and this will unlock the event. So, there's going to be tappables, and that's Christmas shoppers. So it'll just be these three people here, this lady here, this man here, and this older gentleman here. You'll just have these. There'll be tappables, and yeah, I haven't written it down because I can't be bothered, but basically every prize track part, you have to tap 15 of these guys, or maybe 10. I think 10's more reasonable. And then the 4 act currencies will be, for Act 1 will be bus tickets, Act 2 will be broken toys, Act 3 will be Santa masks, and Act 4 will be duffel bags, and those are the act currencies. So let's get into the event. Boom. The super premium will be the Gilbot for $8.99 pounds or dollars. So yes, you could argue that this should be a costume for Gil. I personally, though, there is never a confirmation that this is meant to be like Gil as a rope. Like, you know, it's very possible this is an entirely different character. Obviously, it does sound a lot like Gil. It is just called a sales bot, but I think just rename it Gilbot because I don't know. I think that works. But I feel like this is the best super premium character because he's kind of a Treehouse horror character. But if you're going to be basing an event around Gil, I think it's a good time to add him. And I just think Super Premium works best for me. I can't think of any other way to throw him into the prize track or the store. So I honestly just thought Super Premium. I was looking for things I could possibly add, and I just settled on the Gilbot. I think it works. He's a kind of cool character. It would be very awesome to get him, but I think he's in the grey area for whether or not I'd like him to be Super Premium. I've said it before, but I personally prefer it when Super Premium characters are kind of like blink and you miss it, or like characters that aren't that significant. So Gilbot, I'm like, maybe I would like him to be added in a more significant way, but I think this one's fine, personally. Moving on. So in Act 1 store, you will have the Ribbit tour bus with Ribbit mascot for 125 donuts. Now, you might be thinking, why the hell have you got the Ribbit mascot? This is a Christmas update. Well, the Ribbit mascot obviously appears in the Kill Gil Volume 1 and 2 because he's one of the Christmas ice skaters, along with the Grumple and Candy Kevin and a few others that we've got in the game before. We of course have the Ribbit mascot, who was a part of that as well. Now with the Ribbit mascot, I think he's significant enough, just like the Grumple, that he deserves to have tasks and animations, so of course for this he does have that. But yeah, the Ribbit mascot, he'll come with the Ribbit tour bus, which you can see there. I don't know if all the hippies will be on top of it. They could maybe just be around it potentially, but yeah, it's just a decoration and a character. I think this works out pretty well, and yeah, it's a cool character. Moving on. So Homer, Lisa, and Bart all find themselves in the mall and bump into each other. Gil says hi, asking them if they'd like to buy a mobile device or a diary, and maybe some a fine china vase. Homer says these phones are from 2004, these diaries are from the 90s, and these china vases are all cracked. Gil admits he's hit rock bottom. He doesn't even have a place to stay this Christmas, so you make Homer, Lisa, and Bart back away slowly and make Springfielders earn bus tickets, and this will unlock Gil's last stand. So this is a mall stand, but you basically, you just unlock this as a decoration. It's not a building, it'll be a decoration, but it will have an animation with Gil, so it's an important one to add for sure, so yeah. The yes guy tells Gil he's late on his standee rent, and Gil says sorry and begins to pack up. Lisa feels sorry for him and asks him what he's going to do, and he explains he's going to go home to the bus station, and Lisa offers to help, saying her dad and brother will help too. So Bart and Homer, though, are not happy with this, so you make Bart and Homer madly help Gil, make Lisa gladly help Gil, and make Springfielders earn bus tickets, and this will unlock Gil's things. So this will be a bit more than this. It'll be a few boxes, maybe like a bag or like a crappy suitcase full of like bursting open with clothes, and then like a few other boxes like this. Not just these 3 boxes on top of each other, but basically like a bunch of Gil's stuff. I just couldn't find like one good picture. So Homer asks Gil what happened to selling various Springfielders around town, and he says he's got more sales to go, but his bosses only let him make sales about 6 times a year, so the pay's not great. Plus, he's got into hot water with some folks. Homer asks who, and he says the Christmas ice rink performers. He may have dressed up on their turf, and the Grumple, Candy Kevin, Ribbit Mascot, and Coldy the Snowman are all after him. Oh shoot, there's Coldy and Ribbit now. Make Homer hide Gil, make Bart distract Coldy, make Lisa hide Gil's stuff, but Springfielders earn bus tickets, and this will unlock Coldy the Snowman. So Coldy the Snowman, he'll just be an NPC, he won't be a separate character. But he'll just be an NPC, like Candy Kevin, because he's not significant enough, I think, to be a full playable. They sneak Gil out of there, and he says thanks, and he returns to his home, the bus station. Gil explains the managers let him stay as long as he pays for a bus ticket every day. Lisa thinks this is terrible, being homeless on Christmas, but Gil seems to not to mind too much. He just wishes he had a new job. Lisa vows to get him one, but suddenly Ribbit enters, saying anyone who defends Gil will get beaten up themselves. So you make Lisa and Bart run away, make Homer stand his ground with Gil, and make Springfielders earn bus tickets, and this will unlock the Springfield bus station. So yeah, this will be a building. I think this will be a very cool building to get. I want it to be big, right? And I want there to be like 2 buses outside of it. It would be an added bonus if they gave us a bus, maybe in the store. That's possible too. They could like chuck in a bus, and we could throw, we could like design like a little bus route maybe. Maybe they can throw some bus shelters. But to be fair, I'd be honestly just be happy with the building with just like the 2 buses parked outside. Maybe another one round the side. I think that for me would be fine enough. And then, finally, Homer and Gil are beaten up badly and are saved by Marge, who begins to throw Christmas cookies at the mascots. They vow they'll be back, and they are gentlemen, so they won't hurt Marge, but they'll have someone to do it for them. Foreshadowing. So you make Marge throw cookies at the mascots, make Homer say corny lines, make Lisa and Bart help Gil up, and make Springfielders earn bus tickets, and that will unlock Gil Gunderson as a full playable character, finally. Alright, I think, honestly, yes, it would be very cool if Gil sells himself in a deal. I think that would be kind of fitting, but at the same time, Gil is such a prominent character that I think charging him for donuts is not fair. I think actually, do you know what? Chuck him in the prize track. Give him us for free. Now, I've thought about structuring this event a little bit differently and having Gil unlocked at the end of the event, or like at the end of Act 3 maybe, or 4, or unlock him on Christmas Day. But the thing is, I kind of want him to lead the event past this point, so I didn't want to do that, so I haven't done that. But yeah, that's Gil Gunderson, full playable character. Yes, it would be cool if he sold himself in a Gil's deal, but honestly, I just want him in the game, and I think make him free. He's such a big character to add. Make him free to everyone. And I do have a solution for what would happen after this update as well, by the way. But anyway, moving on, we've got Act 2. You probably briefly saw it. But Act 2, in the store will be Kidstown, USA with Kearney Jr. for 150 donuts. So the reason why I've got Kearney Jr. here is A, it's weird that we haven't got Kearney Jr. already, considering we've got Kearney's other son, which is just a big buff baby. But also, Kearney Jr. actually appears in Kill Gil Volume 1 and 2. I wanted to stick only exclusively to characters who appeared in that episode, or try my best to stick with characters that appeared in that episode. There is one exception later on, which you'll see. But, yeah, I obviously the Gilbot was an exception as well. But yeah, I thought, why not stick with this, and Kearney Jr. makes sense, with this act, so I thought, screw it, we'll throw Kearney Jr. with Kidstown, USA. I know that this building could come with like various different kids, but it doesn't really matter. I'd be fine with whatever kid this came with. But yeah, it's a really cool building and a very cool character, and a character that I do think we need to, help complete Kearney's family. So yeah. So here's Act 2's questline. Despite what happened in the past, the Simpsons family allow Gil to stay with them in their house for a few days, but this time he promises to get a job and help support the family and pay his rent. He buys gifts for everyone too. Bart a new slingshot, Marge a new vacuum, Homer a crate of Duff, and for Grandpa he has a special tune to play. So you make Gil play an old tune for Grandpa, make Grandpa listen to Gil's tune, make Marge try out her new vacuum, make Homer drink Duff, make Bart fire stones at people with his new slingshot, and make Lisa wait for her gift, and make Springfielders earn broken toys. And this will unlock the Xmas piano. So yeah, it is the Simpsons piano, but it will have this like nice little Xmas-y thing on top. Normally when we add like interior things, I'm normally not cool with it. This, I don't know. I think I'd be willing to allow it because it's Christmas. We already have like that Christmas fireplace and stuff, and that's like incredibly difficult to add. So I feel like this at least would be easy enough. You could just put it behind like a music store or something, like behind King Toots maybe or something like that. I don't know. I figured it wouldn't be too hard to decorate. Lisa asks Gil if he's got a gift for her, and Gil says he has got a gift. He has got one, but he's waiting to get a discount from his new job, working at Costington's. Gil goes to his new job, and he's told he needs to be the Santa there. Gil asks about the Malibu Stacy pony set, and Costington tells Gil that they've sold out. Well, they're all broken. His daughter didn't like any of them, and she doesn't. If she doesn't like them, then no kid would. So you make Gil look for a new gift for Lisa, make Lisa think of what her gift is, make Marge collect Gil's rent, and make Springfielders earn broken toys, and this will unlock the Malibu Stacy Pony Party sold out display. So you can see it here. So yeah, just be a cardboard display, but I actually really like these cardboard displays, like the Lee Carvello one and the other ones that we got in the past. I think they're easy enough to decorate. Gil finds a Malibu Stacy doll, but he sees Lisa already has it. He's panicking, but luckily Stacy? Oh. Yeah, Stacy Lavelle, was that name? Comes out with a new Christmas Stacy special. Little Miss Costington sees the new stock and falls in love with it. Mr. Costington is finally happy and asks her how many she wants. She tells her dad she wants all of them. No other girl can get them. So you make Gil steal an Xmas Malibu Stacy, make Lisa check up on Gil, make Marge check up on Gil, and make kids wait for Santa Gil ×5, and make Springfielders earn broken toys, and this will unlock Santa Gil. So yeah, there will be a costume for Gil. I figured, why not? This is a Gil event. We're going to be giving Gil a few costumes. The first of which will be Santa Gil. Yes, we have Homer Santa, and we obviously have Ned Santa. Why not give Gil a Santa? I want to give Gil a bunch of costumes this event. There's a third costume that we're going to be giving him as well, so he's going to get 3 costumes in this. Well, obviously his actual character and then 2 costumes. But yeah, I figured, why not? This is a Gil episode, this is a Gil event, why not give Gil some costumes? We're introducing him into the game, but we're also giving you some cool costumes for him as well. So, yeah, I figured, why the hell not? We'll give a Santa Gil costume. So, Gil is caught by Little Miss Costington, and she blackmails him. She tells her dad, she blackmails him, saying that she'll tell her dad if he doesn't get her the new Happy Little Elves plushie set. Gil asks her, can't she just get her daddy to get it for her? But she says no, because they've partnered with some competition and not daddy. Lisa and Marge over here and vow to help Gil. So make Marge and Lisa help Gil find the Happy Little Elves plush set, make Gil buy the Happy Little Elves plush set, and make Springfielders earn broken toys. And this will unlock Pay and Leave Supermarket, which you can see right here. So obviously I couldn't put Costingtons in here because we've already got Costingtons in the game, so I figured, why not just throw in another supermarket or some sort of thing. I know this is more like of a grocery supermarket, but like, I don't know, big supermarkets do tend to sell toys, right? So I figured it works. Gil brings the gift to Little Miss Costington, and she's very happy and promises not to spill Gil's secret now. But Mr. Costington soon comes to Gil and says his daughter has got a gift from the competition and it needs to be discarded. He tells Gil to get rid of it, and if he does, Costington will make him a manager. But Gil can't bring himself to do it. Lisa and Marge are proud of Gil. He's not a hateful man, but Costington fires him on the spot. To make Gil hand back his uniform, make Marge and Lisa boycott Costington's, make Gil look for a new job, and make Springfielders earn broken toys, and this will unlock Little Mr. Costington. So I know one of the Simpsons wikis calls her Melina Costington, but I can't find anything to prove that that is actually her first name. This is a problem I found with one of the wiki. Simpsons tends to be pretty good, but Simpsons wiki is pretty open for anyone to moderate. Like, literally anyone can moderate it and change pages like they will. So I always get a bit... I've noticed this because I used to just take it at face value and believe it. So I'd be like, oh, cool. Like, Jimbo Jones is like 8th cousins to like the Simpsons. That's really cool. But no. They do kind of like have like bullshit on their pages. And Little Miss Costington, I just think works as a name. If Melina is her real name, if that actually does come from something legitimate, like some other source, then fair dues, we'll go with Melina Costington. But I wasn't 100% sure, so I just called her Little Miss Costington. I think that works as well, Little Miss Costington, you know. So yeah, moving on. There's a Gil's deal. Wait, how is there a Gil's deal? You're giving us Gil as a character. Well, don't worry, because old Gil is still going to be around to give you great deals. I still need cash, even if I'm a permanent resident now. Today, I'm getting back at Stan for selling my sales, so I'm selling him. So, of course, yes, Gil is going to be a character in the game, but I think that they can still give us Gil deals every so often. I don't think it negates them. Basically, all that will happen is Gil will just be there with a little, question mark above his face, and then you click him and you get the deal. That's it. And then as soon as you've clicked him and done his like little, speech about his Gil's deal, you can then go on and send him to do tasks or whatever. You don't have to then, he doesn't like disappear from your town like he normally does. It's an easy fix. They're doing the similar things for Sideshow Bob as well. I know it's a bit different because obviously Sideshow Bob used to be like they used to run around your town. You have to capture him, and then they added him as a full playable character. And then like after the update, they made it so if you capture him so many times, then you unlock him as a full playable character. And I do have another solution for how they're going to fix Gil after, but we'll get onto that in a second. So we've got the OK Car Ral with Stan for 200 donuts. So Stan is a character who's actually appeared quite a few times. He's been in various different car-related jobs. The OK Car Ral is where Gil obviously worked. He worked at this place with Stan, and Stan basically steals his sales. So the OK Car Ral will be the building that you get. It'll be basically just a big-ass car, a bunch of cars in there. There'll be a bunch of different, like Marge's, what's it called, that big Jeep thing. And there'll be like a little office down here. And you get Stan as a full playable character. Act 3. Oh, hello. We've got the costume shop with the Grumple Kids for 150 donuts. So yeah, the Grumple Kids, I think they're fine to be in 2-in-1. I don't think they should be two separate characters. 2-in-1's fine for me. Add them as a 2-in-1, and we'll get to the other family. Of course, the actual Grumple's already in the game. But yeah, you get the costume shop. I mean, I think it works for them to come with them. I mean, they are in costume, technically. I presume there is real people underneath those masks. Or maybe not, who knows. But I think the costume shop works well enough. And this is kind of weird, because this one's appeared in a few different episodes, but it hasn't actually been added yet, which is a bit odd. Moving on. So Gil vows he will get a new job, and he already has. He's helping decorate the town with Mole Man. And if he has to travel to Shelbyville or Ogdenville to pay the family, he will. Marge tells Gil he's welcome to stay for as long as he wants. He's been a joy to the family. But Marge is kind of lying. Make Gil help decorate the town. Make Marge secretly get sick of Gil. Make Homer watch Gil decorate the town. Make Mole Man supervise Gil if you own him. Make Bart break decorated lampposts. Make Springfielders earn Santa masks. And this will unlock the Christmas Reeve lamppost. Christmas Reeve lamppost. So basically, you get a lamppost with the Christmas wreath sort of across here, with the thing in the middle, obviously the wreath in the middle, and the sort of the decorations, and then to the other lamppost. And then you place this on the, on concrete or whatever, but it will go over the road. So you're able to put these over the road. I just think this way allows you to actually make like a really cool Christmas area. It's just an added extra decoration. And I noticed it like ever so briefly in the episode, and I thought, do you know what? That would be actually kind of cool to get. So yeah, so you're able to like put roads in between it, and you can buy as many of these. They'll be added to the store for cash. And I think that's fair. Gil rushes home with Mole Man and they both hide away. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah. Gil rushes home with Mole Man, and they're both hiding away. The Christmas skaters, they've come back for revenge. Marge, Lisa, and Bart and Homer see the skating reindeer outside with the Grumple and his kids, and Homer tells Marge they need to slip out the back, but Marge wants to just reason with them. But when the kids take out a knife, Marge says, okay, let's go. So you make Marge, Bart, Homer, and Lisa slip away out the back, make Gil slip out the back, make Mole Man stay in the house confused, and make the Grumple kids break down the door if you own them. And obviously it offers if you own Mole Man too. And make Springfielders earn Santa masks, and this will unlock the skating reindeer. So yeah, you get him as an NPC. He won't be a playable character, he'll just be another NPC. Just to complete all the skaters that were in the episode. Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Gil plan where they need to go. Gil pitches they go to a desert. That way the ice rinkers will be too hot. Gil mentions Scottsdale is a place of opportunity and will be a great place for the family. So yeah, they all agree with that. So you place 3 desert tiles, make Homer get a job on an oil drill, or at an oil drill. Make Marge try to make friends, make Lisa look at Scottsdale schools, make Bart look for a new millhouse, and make Gil check they're not being followed, and make Springfielders earn Santa masks, and this will unlock the Scottsdale sign. So yeah, just a nice little sign. I actually really like the water, $10 a sip. And I guess because this is it appears in a Christmas episode, it will have the Christmas decoration around it, but I think that's alright. Marge asks how the family are finding their new life so far. Homer enjoys his job at the oil drill. Lisa liked the schools. Bart says he didn't need to find a new millhouse because Millhouse visits his grandpa who lives here. But Marge wants to have a new home. She doesn't want to spend Christmas homeless. Gil tells Marge he can help out. So they both him and Marge visit Mr. Jackpot and ask him for a good deal. So make Gil negotiate down, make Marge watch Gil at work, make Homer slack off, make Bart look for lizards, make Millhouse help Bart, make Lisa read about Scottsdale, and make Springfielders earn Santa masks. And this will unlock the Scottsdale Simpsons house. So this will be a building. I really like the look of this one. It just looks really cool. It's odd that they've never added this one before. But yeah, you get the Scottsdale Simpsons house. So you have this with the little mailbox and maybe the driveway with the snowman, possibly. Obviously the snowman could like melt. And I really like the cactus. I was like really tempted to have the Christmas colored cactus, because part of me was like thinking to redesign this event as like a Christmas themed event. Like a Wild Westy Christmas themed event. And I think it would come off nicely from Northward Bound as like a nice almost like prequel, or like Northward Bound was like a nice like sort of prologue to this event. But maybe that's what they're doing. Actually, you know what? That's actually my new prediction. The Christmas update is going to be something Wild West themed. I don't know, but yeah, I think this is a really cool house. I hardcore predict that this will be in this year's Christmas. Do you know what? Because we've got Jackpot Realty. Yeah, I generally think that we're definitely going to get this house. We'll have to see though. But yeah, really nice house, really cool. So be awesome to get. And then so Marge prepares the dinner, the gifts, the stockings, the cookies for Santa. The family are gathered, and she's ready to spend Christmas with Gil. Gil tells the group that Mr. Jackpot offered him a job, so he's going to be bringing in money soon. Marge asks Gil that maybe now they're safe and it's time to go. He's confused. I'm one of the family, right? Suddenly there's a knock at the door. It's the Grumples. They found them. The kids fight the kids. The Grumple fights Homer and Gil, and Mrs. Grumple comes for Marge, and Marge screams at them all, saying, "This is stupid. Gil's sorry for performing on your turf and being one of the ice rinkers, but stop coming after my family. If you don't, I'll call the manager of the ice rink and get it cancelled for good." So you make Marge take control, make Homer and Gil back away from the Grumple, make Lisa and Bart back away from the Grumple kids, make the Grumple and Grumple kids stop their attack if you own them, and this will unlock. And also make Springfielders earn Santa masks, and this will unlock Mrs. Grumple as a full playable character. That's right. Spring King can be happy. And at the end, Mrs. Grumple, as a mother, sees the error of her ways and promises all is forgiven now. You know, they're even Steven. Moving on to Act 4. Boom. So originally, this is Jackpot Realty sponsored bus and bench with Mr. Jackpot for 150 donuts. So originally, if you didn't guess, this was meant to be Mr. Jackpot with Jackpot Realty. Okay? It wasn't meant to be with the bus and bench, but they decided to add Jackpot Realty and Black Friday. Ruined my event a little bit, but it's okay. Well, it didn't really ruin it, but that means we have to add Mr. Jackpot separately. Now, his name is not Mr. Jackpot. He's actually unnamed. I'm calling him Mr. Jackpot. The reason why is because of this. Like, this is my logical path for why he's called Mr. Jackpot. So earlier in the episode, Gil works for Mr. Costington's. He owns a store called Costington's. And he's called Mr. Costington, right? And it's a silly name, I agree. And he obviously tells Gil he's fired. And then later in the episode, where Gil works for Jackpot Realty, this guy comes out. He sounds exactly like Mr. Costington. He goes like that, and fires Gil again. And I just consider, well, if Mr. Costington is called Mr. Costington and he owns Costington's, then this guy must be called Mr. Jackpot because he owns Jackpot Realty. That's my logical fallacy. I mean, I think that makes sense. It's a way to give him a name. But yeah, you get the Jackpot Realty sponsored bus and bench with Mr. Jackpot for 150 donuts. Gil comes home after another day at work. Homer asks Marge if she's going to kick him out yet, and Marge says, well, he does bring in rent. Marge decides to leave it for now because Gil has big news. He got promoted at Jackpot Realty. He's now number 1 at the office, selling hundreds of homes. Marge says to Homer maybe they could get him to pay more than $50 of rent a week. Homer agrees, so you make Gil celebrate his promotion, make Bart and Lisa get sick of Gil, make Homer ask Gil for more rent, make Marge back up Homer, and make Springfielders earn duffel bags, and this will unlock the Jackpot Realty sponsored billboard. So yeah, just get this billboard. It's pretty cool though. Gil says he couldn't pay more rent as he's saving for his rainy day fund. He also mentions that he sold some of the Simpsons things to pay for a new billboard, including Bart's Krusty collection, Lisa's sacks, Homer's TV, and Marge's vacuum cleaner. But he promises it will all come back. But the Simpsons are obviously mad. So you make Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Homer kick Gil out, make Gil be out on the street, and make Springfielders earn duffel bags. And this will unlock Jackpot Gil. I couldn't be asked to go in the episode. So initially, I planned to add Red Blazer Realty Gil. But then I was thinking about this act, and I kind of think it doesn't make sense to give the Red Blazer, because I know that I'm adding these two things from the Red Blazer Realty episode, but it doesn't really make sense to add Red Blazer Realty, and it doesn't really fit into the quest line, because I was going to have like Cookie Kwan come in and like hire Gil instead. But no, I just went with this. I think this one's fine, and yeah, we could maybe add the Red Blazer Realty on another day, or switch it out. I would prefer the Red Blazer Realty, to be honest. But then it doesn't make sense not to add the Scottsdale Gil, so it was just rubbing me the wrong way. Whatever. Marge wonders whether they did the right thing, and they finally move back to their house and spend the rest of their holidays there. Lisa watches Gil looking for a place to stay. She feels for him, so you make Gil look for the cheapest house in the market, make Lisa feel sorry for Gil, make Bart, Homer, and Marge be glad Gil is gone, and make Springfielders earn double bags, and this will unlock the dilapidated house. So yeah, you get this dilapidated house, just a crappy little house. I know it's not in Scottsdale, it's in Springfield, but I think it works fine. Repurpose it. Gil now lives with his roommate Mo in the dilapidated house. He cries to Mo as he has no friends, no love. His children don't talk to him. He has nothing. Mo cries the same here. Lisa comes in and tells Gil maybe there is a way she could help. She tells Gil one Christmas they got Santa's little helper, and that made them happy. So maybe a dog could do the same for Gil. They check the pound. There are none. They check the pet shop. There are none. Wait, Raphael, how do you work 2 jobs? Raphael will be both at the pound and the pet shop. And they can make a joke there. I think that could work. Mr. Jackpot tells Gil a new house has come up on the west side. Sell it before Cookie gets here. Gil sees it's a dog home. It's full of dogs, and he says he's going to use his rainy day fund to buy this. I was going to be buying your family a new car, but no. This is right, Lisa. Thanks. So you make Gil buy another house, make Lisa regret talking to Gil, make Mo cry by himself, make Marge, Homer, and Bart move back into their house, and make Springfielders earn duffel bags, and this will unlock the dog-infested home. And Gil is happy now, surrounded by all of these furry pals, but Raphael from the pound tells Gil that they've all got to come back. They all escaped recently. Gil begs, can I keep just one of these little guys? Just one. And Raphael says, sure, why the hell not? It's Christmas. So you make Gil pick out a perfect dog, make Raphael take the rest of the dogs, make Marge, Homer, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie, I guess, spend the rest of their holidays without Gil, and make Springfielders earn duffel bags, and this will unlock Taquito. So, yeah. I know Taquito isn't obviously in the Gil episode, but he does have a connection to Gil, because at the end of the Dogtown episode, Gil finds Taquito and basically adopts him. So, and then I think the dog says, Taquito says that it's going to eat Gil. So, that way, I think it works out fine. I think it's a cool, nice end to the thing. I think it parallels quite nicely to the very first Simpsons episode with Santa's Little Helper, and I think it's a nice end for Gil's introduction into the game. So, yeah. I know that it's kind of annoying because we were just getting the one character and not like all the other stuff from that episode, but I don't know. I think that's fine. They've done it before. They can always give us another Dogtown update in the future. But yeah, that's my event idea basically. And then the epilogue is the family begin to shit talk Gil, and he passes with his dog. He tells the family they may have a fancy bathroom, a nice TV, and a warm meal, but Gil has happiness with his dog. Taquito barks, I finally get to eat him. So you make Gil walk away proud and make the Simpsons feel a tad guilty. And that will be the end. So, yeah, that's my Christmas update. Tell me what you think. But before we do, I've got some tasks and animations. Oh, wait. Actually, before I do, explaining what happens after the update. So, basically, obviously we would come into an issue because if we add Gil in this update, then how the hell do other players get Gil, and then what happens when Gil shows up, and blah, 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 blah. So this is what happened. Gil will be a temporary character up until you reach level 50. So Gil will appear to give you Gil's deals regardless. If you're, let's say you're level 20, he will still come and give you Gil's deals, right? But as soon as you reach level 50, and you haven't played this update that I've come up with, then basically what will happen is the Springfield Bus Station with Gil will unlock in your store once you reach level 50 for 75k, basically. And you place it down, you place the bus station down, and you get Gil as a full playable character. You go through his character questline like normal, like you would in the event, and that would be it. And I personally think this is a easy enough solution to doing it. Now, granted, they could do something wild and wacky like they did with Sideshow Bob, where you have to like capture him like 50 times, whatever it was. They could do something like that, but I just think keep it simple. Chuck in the bus station with Gil, and then also on top, just throw Gil's last stand in the store for 10 donuts once you reach level 50. The only reason why I threw this in here and not anything else is because this I have an animation for, so it's unfair to basically not allow another animation. But at the same time, if you weren't here for the update, you got to pay 10 donuts to get that animation. I think that's fair. I think that's reasonable. So, yeah, that's my solution for what they should do after the update with Gil. Moving on. So, we've got the Gil. Now we've got our tasks and animations. So, for the Gilbot, we've got oil himself up for 60 minutes. This will just be him oiling his legs up, trying to move. Maybe like he gets stuck. Try steal real Gil's identity for 4 hours. That could be the Brown House. Increases sales before he's scrapped for 8 hours. That will be at the Orange House or the Mill House, any house really. Try sell himself for 8 hours. This will be him. He'll put like a for sale sign around his neck, and he'll be like trying to sell himself. Maybe like trying to showing how he can use a vacuum, showing how he can use a hammer maybe, and then beg for repairs for 24 hours. That will be anywhere, to be honest. For the Ribbit, we've got advertised the Ribbit Burger for 60 minutes, so this will be him. He'll have the Ribbit Burger, he'll eat it, he'll think it's disgusting, maybe spit it out a little bit, and then he'll put his thumbs up saying it's great. Counter protest vegans for 4 hours, I thought why not, and that'll be a Krusty Burger. Welcome customers for 8 hours, that'll be a Krusty Burger. Practice skating for 12 hours, and that will be him. Basically, he'll put his skates on and he'll be skating around your town. And as he skates, he'll be leaving like a horrible trail of this grease, basically, or whatever it is, like the Ribbit sauce. He'll be leaving all this sauce behind him. And then obviously, eventually, the sauce will fade. But it'd be cool if they could have it trail out quite a bit, and then it kind of begins to fade after he skates a bit more. And then campaign to keep the Ribbit Burger for 24 hours. That'll be at the Ribbit tour bus, and that will be like part of his thing. Basically, some vegans say they want to get rid of it, and it's got too much meat in it, extra meat. It's got, it's 100% meat, and he's like, oh damn it, we need to keep it. Partly because I need to keep my job. For Gil, we have. So these are the tasks I went with. Gil is incredibly difficult because I feel like he's a character who's done so many things that I kind of feel like it's hard. But we've got do his back in again, so this will be him trying doing his sales pitch, sort of going around, and then his back will go, and he'll be like hunchback and like in pain and screaming and then snapping his back into position. Annoying. I know that sounds really mean, but annoy another family for 4 hours. That will be any family house really. Make his last stand for 8 hours. So this will be an animation at Gil's last stand. And basically, he'll be kind of just doing what he normally does. He'll be trying to do a Gil's deal. So he'll be selling, maybe picking items up, trying to sell them, kind of giving us the thumbs up and all that. The different animations that we've seen him do in the past. Move back into the bus station for 12 hours. So this will be him. He'll have his duffel bag. And he'll... I'm trying to think of a good place for this. Maybe he'll just sleep under the shelter. He'll basically make a little sleeping bag, put this little sleeping bag under the shelter, and he'll start sleeping under there. Maybe it'll start raining or something as well. That could be kind of funny. Actually, it's kind of sad. I don't know why I'm saying it's funny. And then look for a new job for 24 hours. Couldn't not have that. That would be the opposite of unemployment. For Kearney Jr., we've got break toys for 60 minutes. This will be him just snapping little toys up. Steal toys for 4 hours. That'll be the toy shop. Threaten to get his dad on bullies for 8 hours. That'll be the school. Loiter with his dad for 12 hours. So this will be him and his dad. Kearney will be doing doing a little jig or whatever, the animation he's got. Maybe Kearney Jr. is doing other stuff throwing paper planes or throwing a ball or something. Or maybe he's throwing, crap on the ground. Just loitering around with his dad would be cool. And then revoke the family bullying tradition for 24 hours. That will be at the school, I guess. For Santa Gil, we've got tell kids they'll get everything they want. So this will be a 60-minute animation. It'll be outside of the... what's it called? Outside of this, I think. And basically, he'll be sat in a little mall chair. And a kid, a little NPC kid will come along, sit on Gil's lap, and then Gil will be just talking to the kid. And then another kid comes along, and then maybe the first kid then comes back. Beg for a second chance for 4 hours. That'll be at Costington's or the supermarket if you don't have it. Hide away from bullies for 8 hours. Same thing. Try to save Christmas for 12 hours. This will be Gil with a sack of toys walking around your town, and then the sack will be open and all the toys will fall out, and then his back will be done in, and he's mad and he's trying his best to collect all the presents back up. He fixes the bag up, puts them back in the bag, and then it happens again. And then look for a new gig as a mall Santa for 24 hours. That could be anywhere really. Any sort of place. Then for or Little Miss Costington or Melina Costington, whatever you want to call her, have a temper tantrum for 60 minutes. This will be her throwing her dolls on the air, having a temper tantrum, doing the thing that her dad does. Beg daddy for more toys for 4 hours. That will be... actually, no. The half a temper tantrum would just be her screaming and shaking her head, basically. It won't involve toys, because this one involves toys. Beg daddy for more toys for 4 hours. That will be at Mr. Costington's if you own it. Design a new toy for 8 hours, same place. Break dolls in frustration. So this will be her. Sorry, the thing I described before. This will be her breaking dolls angrily and just throwing them on the ground, picking up a Malibu Stacy, snapping it, picking up a Funzo, maybe ripping it, picking up I don't know, what's another thing? A Krusty doll, ripping his head off, twisting his head off or something. And then dream of what she will inherit for 24 hours. That will be Costington's, I guess. For Stan, we've got dye his hair to look young again, so he'll dye his hair to look young again. Ignore customer complaints for 4 hours. Actually, with the dye his hair, he'll actually be putting the dye in his hair, physically putting it in his hair, and his hair will be black. He'll walk around, and then suddenly, maybe suddenly, it rains or something. I know I've said rain again. But it rains, and, his hair goes grey again, and then he re-dyes it. Ignore customer complaints for 4 hours. That'll be obviously at the car place that he comes with. Big up crappy cars for 8 hours. Change up the sales board for 12 hours. So there'll be, a little sales board that will spawn, and he'll basically just be, taking all of the cars from other people's name and putting them all on his one, on Stan. and then give himself Employee of the Month again for 24 hours. That'll be at his car place. For the Grumple kids, we have practice for the choir for 60 minutes. So this will be them. They'll have like the little book. They'll be practicing for the choir, but then they'll get mad. They'll rip up their books and they'll kind of whip out, maybe like whip out a knife. That sounds really bad. But they'll get frustrated. They'll be like choiring, and maybe they have like a little spat with themselves. You know, they both like start like hitting each other, like slapping each other. Not slapping, but you know, like a little like hand fight. Is what I mean. Run after kids for 4 hours. That sounds really bad, but that'll be at the school. Try to make friends at school for 8 hours. That'll be the school. Threaten the town for 12 hours. This will be them walking around. One will have like a knife. One will have like a bat, and they'll be walking around the town, basically threatening the town. I don't know. I figured why not? Screw it. There's not really too much that we can do with the Grumple kids, so I figured that makes sense for them. And then wait to attack Santa Claus for 24 hours. Basically, in their questline, they have a plan to like. They want to make friends at the school because they go into the Springfield Elementary, and then they find out all the Springfield Elementary kids are like mad at them, and they say, you know, you're gonna be Santa's not gonna give you toys this year, and they're like, who is this Santa? We've never heard of this Santa. We're gonna get him. We're gonna attack him. We're gonna kidnap him. So they're gonna wait to attack Santa Claus. For Mrs. Grumple, we have charge up a punch for 60 minutes. So this will be her. She'll be like whipping her hand, like almost like a Marge. Actually, do you know what? 60 minutes. Ignore the charge up a punch. Just crunch. Do the Marge crunch thing. All right. That will be her animation. I'm going with that. Threaten bake sale customers for 4 hours. This will be the church. Get marriage counseling for 8 hours. That will be at the church. It could be at the church, I guess. Practice new weapons for 12 hours. This will be her. She'll have like a rolling pin, and then she'll have like a kettle, and she'll be like trying to like fit, and then she'll have like a spoon, and she'll like trying to see if that can be a weapon. And then wish she married a less violent Grumple for 24 hours. That will be at the Brown house or the Simpsons house, or it could be anything. Basically, my idea for the Mrs. Grumple's quest line, I actually think this could be like hardcore funny. Is Mr. Grumple like is kind of like not familiar with like a traditional housewife's duties, so she kind of comes to Marge being like, what's about the like I need your help to become this, like I need to be like a traditional housewife. Now me and Grumple are settling in, and we're trying to be like normal citizens. And I just feel like this could be like a really funny little animation with her like practicing new weapons. She thinks they're weapons, and Marge is like, no, they're like baking equipment. So yeah, I just think that would be kind of a funny little thing for her and Marge to kind of maybe bond over, or have like a little thing for. For Mr. Jackpot, we've got berate Gil for 60 minutes. So this will be an animation with Gil, and he'll be there like berating Gil, you know, getting angry at him, getting mad, and Gil will be like backing up, like getting all sad and upset. Gil a second chance for 4 hours. That would be, I guess that could be a Jackpot Realty if you own it with Gil, or it could be at one of the bus, I guess. Price up crappy homes for 8 hours. That will be any house really. Smash up the bus for 12 hours. So this will be him he's so mad at Gil, he's so disappointed at Gil, that he ends up smashing up this bus. So he'll have like a crowbar or something, and he'll be just like smashing up the bus, ruining it. Maybe he'll like deface Gil's face. Excuse me. And then finally, plan to buy up the West Side for 24 hours. Why not? Messing with Cookie Kwan. For Jackpot Gil, we've got pitch up for sale signs for 60 minutes. So this will be him hammering like a for sale sign in front of a home, any home really. I guess a brown house would do. Clean up homes for 4 hours. That will be the dilapidated home. I guess that could work. Chat with house hunters for 8 hours. That will be at the dog home. I guess could work. Try to make new sales for 12 hours. That will be him basically on his phone, begging people. Like he'll be like on his little mobile phone begging people, and he'll be like, please, 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 and then he'll get mad and maybe like chuck his phone on the floor and break it, and then pick it up and then do it again. Become the best seller on the eastern western coast for 24 hours, because we don't know where Springfield. Well, I know like there's like that little meme where they released where Springfield was, but I don't know. It's never been like, I swear it's never been 100% confirmed. So why not like the eastern western coast? It contradicts itself. And then for Taquito, we've got scare over dogs for 60 minutes. This will be him in front of a bunch of dogs, and he'll be barking, and then they'll all run off, and then he'll walk, and then a few other dogs will kind of emerge, and then he'll bark, and then they'll run off. Look for a new family for 4 hours. That'll be anywhere really. Avoid the dog pound patrol for 8 hours. That'll be at a bush or anything, or maybe the Springfield Park sign would work. Get scared by his own shadow for 12 hours. This will be him. A big shadow will be casted in front of him, and he'll like get scared and jump in a bush, and then he'll like realize it's just a shadow, and then it will repeat. And then plan to eat Gil for 24 hours. That will be with him and Gil. And that could be at the Brown House. So, yeah, that is my event. So I hope you have enjoyed. This is an event I actually would think is a really good idea. I really think basing it on a Christmas on Gil could really bring a nice Christmas. And I think there's plenty of cool stuff, for sure. Some of it is not very Christmas related, I admit. Like, the costume shop, I think you could vaguely say is. But, like, actually, no, to be fair, there is quite a lot of... No, I'd say there's quite a lot of... Yeah, I think this is good. There's a lot of Christmas stuff. So, yeah, that is my event. So, tell me your thoughts on this event. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.